everyone! This video is in response to my most recent video, which is about things you should not say to someone with a chronic illness. So that video got a lot more traction than I expected it to get, so I wanted to make a follow-up video about 7 things to say to support your friend with chronic illness. These tips can apply if you are talking to someone who is just telling you just in that moment that they have a chronic illness, or a friend that you already know has one, how you can support them in a way that's actually helpful without accidentally being insulting or rude towards them. So I've got my comfy work from home outfit on, I got my notes, my drink, and I tried to have Olivia be with me for this video, but she is very interested in my roommate's cat right now. And I'm moving, so that's why all the boxes are everywhere. Okay, let's get started. So the first way that you can support your friend with chronic illness is to empathize, not sympathize. Sometimes when someone is coming out to you about their chronic illness, it can be a little overwhelming or maybe out of the blue, something you weren't expecting to hear. And so a lot of people don't know how to respond to that, and we just say something like, "I'm so sorry." And there's nothing really wrong with that, I feel, but if you want to elevate your response, or also have a larger repertoire of responses in addition to "I'm so sorry" or "that really sucks," you can say things like, "Wow, I can't even imagine what you're going through," or "I can only imagine how hard that is for you." Things like that, where you're not sympathizing, but you're empathizing. Number 2, ask to be educated. You might not know what they're talking about. Ask to be educated. Say, "I've never heard of that before. Can you tell me what it is?" Or, "Can you tell me what that's like?" Or, "Do you feel comfortable sharing more information about your symptoms?" And if it's anything like me, I don't have a lot of people ask me stuff like that. I think they're afraid to do so. But if you ask to be educated, not ask to be invasive, then your friend is more likely to open up to you and let you know what it's really like to live with their chronic illness. Number 3, offer concrete help. It can be really well-meaning to say something like, "Let me know if you need anything," or "Let me know if you need any help." And again, those responses are fine, but if we want to elevate our responses when your friend is talking to you about their chronic illness, what you want to do is offer concrete help. You want to listen to what they're saying. If they are talking about how they don't have a lot of energy because of their chronic illness, they're talking about how their fatigue is so debilitating, you want to listen to that and think of a response that's tailored to their specific needs. Using the example of fatigue, if they say something like, "Hey, I haven't been doing great, my fatigue is really getting in the way, it's hard for me to cook," then concrete help you can offer is, "Hey, let me know if you need me to bring you some groceries. I will go to the store and pick it up and deliver it to you. Contact free," because of COVID, is a really good specific way to offer help. I'll give you a couple of examples in my personal life. So I have ulcerative colitis, which is inflammatory bowel disease. And because of that, I have a lot of urgency to go number 2 and diarrhea. And that can lead to accidents. So I had a friend once tell me, I was texting her from the bathroom at school saying, "Oh my gosh, I'm in horrible pain. I don't know what to do. I don't know if I can make it to class." And she said, "Let me know if you need me to bring you an extra pair of underwear." That is kind of maybe a weird thing to think to say, but in the moment it was so helpful, because even though I didn't need it in that moment, if I do in the future, I know, okay, that person said that they would help me with this specific thing and they understand what I'm going through. Sometimes my fatigue is so extreme that it's hard for me to cook. And so if I don't have any pre-made things at home, I honestly sometimes just don't eat the meal that I'm supposed to eat because I don't have the energy to eat, to order anything, to go pick up anything. So my boyfriend knew about this problem and told me, "If ever you need a meal, just call me. I'll come bring you something or cook you something." And I was like, "Oh, that's nice." Then a while later, I was in that situation where I didn't have any energy to prepare a meal for myself. And I was like, "Man, this sucks." But then I remembered, oh, he told me that he could help me. Now I have a specific person that I can go to for a specific problem or issue. So the rest of these tips are going to have to do with after you know the person has a chronic illness, after they've told you, you've had that initial conversation, now you're continuing on with your friendship, that tough kind of coming out about your illness conversation is over with, you want to continue to support them in your friendship with them throughout their chronic illness. So these next tips are best for those types of situations. Tip number 4 is to be accommodating about social situations. If you're making plans with your friend who's chronically ill and they have to suddenly cancel on you because they're suddenly really not feeling well, try not to be offended or take it personally or be too upset with them. Of course, it's okay to feel upset that you have to cancel a plan, but try to once again empathize and think, well, if this person is possibly in so much pain that they can't move, it makes sense that they cannot come to dinner with me or come to my game night or wine night. And I'll share another personal story in which I had a friend who was extremely accommodating. So I have a friend from undergrad who loves to throw murder mystery parties. These are so fun. You get a character assigned to you, you have to dress up and play this whole persona. I went to one of her parties and had a great time. Then the next time one came around, she gave me a role. I told her I wouldn't mind having a larger role because I thought it would be really fun to be one of the main characters in the plot. But by the time it came to the day of the party, and keep in mind I RSVP'd yes weeks ahead of time because she needs to plan out the whole party. So when it came to the day of the party, I was really not feeling it. I was just having symptoms, I wasn't feeling great, and I felt horrible to think that I would have to cancel on her on the day of the party. So I waited throughout the whole day thinking, maybe I'll feel better by the end of the day and I can still go to the party. Well, that of course didn't happen. I was still feeling the same way that I did in the morning. So I had to text her and cancel, and I was just filled with anxiety and guilt and feelings of I'm a bad friend, but I knew that I couldn't go to the party, especially because it was a whole event. So I couldn't just show up for 30 minutes and then head out. I knew that my friend was probably pretty upset with me for canceling at the very last minute. So I told her, please, let's go get dinner next week and I'll explain and we can talk about this because I know how much effort and energy you put into this party and I really don't want you to think that I'm flaking last minute. So we went out for dinner and I was able to explain to her, hey, your parties are so fun, but for me, a one-on-one interaction is usually better because I can gear myself up for an hour or two of a lunch or dinner date here or there, and then I can go home and rest. Or a party where you can drop in is best for me, but these types of social situations where I have to be reserved for a long amount of time and also I have to kind of perform this part is not really a great option for me. And she was extremely understanding, and now when we hang out, it is a one-on-one situation. That is a great example of how to support your chronically ill friend when it comes to plans and social situations. Number 5, stay calm in moments of panic. Sometimes your friend with chronic illness is going to have an urgent situation, and I mean urgent, like urgency. Like for me, I have to poop right now. I'll give you another example. I was sitting with my roommate, who is my best friend of many years, and we were eating fried chicken and watching TV and just having the best night, and then all of a sudden, ding, 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 that urgency light came on and I was like, I have to go right now. So I jump up, I try running to the bathroom, and I don't make it. I literally my pants. This is not the first time this has happened, okay? If you have IBD, you see Crohn's, you know this happens, and it is extremely embarrassing. I feel so much shame. I feel like I'm a baby. I can't even make it to the bathroom in time. While I was feeling all these emotions, my roommate was amazing. He's like, don't worry, I'm gonna run upstairs, I'm gonna get you new underwear, I'm gonna get you sweatpants to make you comfortable. He came downstairs, shoved them under the door. He shoved a trash bag for me to put He sat outside the door while I was cleaning up and goes, yes, clean. I know it sounds kind of cringy, but it was so important for me to have someone who was calm in that moment of panic, someone who didn't judge me, and someone who was actionably helpful. Number 6 is to check in with your friend from time to time. A lot of the times, if we have a friend who's going through something really hard, like an illness or a family death, we want to reach out, but we don't know what to say to not make it sound cheesy or generic. A good way to think about this is kind of how we're actually checking in with each other during COVID-19. I cannot count the number of emails that I've received or written actually that start with, "Hope you're doing as well as you can in this crazy time." That's pretty much the same way you want to approach reaching out and checking in to your chronically ill friend, because chances are your chronically ill friend is not going to be at 100% a lot of the time. So this is a way of checking in with them that's personal, it's specific, it's tailored to them and their issues. And the final tip, number 7, is let your friend know that they are enough. A lot of chronically ill people constantly feel that they're not enough because they feel their illness gets in the way of letting them live their lives, do the things they want to do, and achieve the goals that they've set for themselves in their lives. You should let them know that what you're doing is enough. Just taking care of yourself is enough. Doing things like taking your medicine and taking your shower for the day and taking care of your cat or your dog, that's enough. I feel like a lot of the times when people have an illness or a disability, it can be really common to turn that person into an inspiration. Try not to make their worth about what they're doing. Try to attach their worth to who they are as a person. I'm going to insert a screenshot right here of something that I saw on my friend Noah's Instagram. So Noah is working on a podcast called Spooning with Spoonies. So she's another great chronic illness and disability advocate that you guys can go follow. But she posted this great picture, which I think really explains what I'm trying to say. If you deal with a chronic illness, I encourage you to send this video to your friends and family, so that way they can be better equipped and better informed with more tactics to help them support you through your illness. If you think of any other tips, then leave them down below in the comments so other people can read and learn from you and your experiences as well. I also wanted to say that I was really not expecting my previous video to get as many views as it did. I think as of right now it's at over just 300 views, which is not going to sound like a lot to a lot of people, but for someone who just started, I was pretty happy with that number. So I hope it continues to grow, and I hope this video can help people in the same way. I have a lot of really interesting ideas for other videos having to do with, of course, chronic illness and mental health and special needs pets or disabled pets. But I have a lot of other things I want to do as well, like story time videos, advice for people in college. I'm moving into a new apartment soon, so I would love to do like an apartment haul and eventually some sort of tour. And I really enjoyed making the last video, which was a different style than I've done so far. Doing that skit where you're talking at yourself, I find to be really funny and is something that one of my favorite YouTubers, Kelly Stamps, does quite a bit. So I'm hoping to embody a little bit more of that kind of creative energy as I move forward with my videos and in my channel. Also want to show you Olivia's diaper of the day. Today we have Grumpy Bananas. Are you a grumpy banana? Good girl. Thanks for watching.